good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah.
And then here's where now you add your ad lib.
the butcher coming.
That's right. Yo, that's Benny the Butcher, in case you didn't know. Yeah. You really nailed it, by the way, when it comes to picking the catchphrase early on. Like it's real. Let's really talk about how well this has worked out as a catchphrase.
You really gotta point that out, because I feel that the butcher coming is probably like the best one. It caught on, and I don't want to say I got lucky with it, because you know what I'm saying, I thought of it myself, but it stuck. I ain't never think it was the butcher coming.
No, it really stuck. And like I was telling you just outside and telling Rick Hyde, I was looking at an old interview when Top Shelf Premium brought you up in like 2018, something like 5 years ago, and you started the interview, butcher coming every single time. When did you start doing it?
Man, I don't even remember. I want to say sometime around 2017 or sometime around 2017, I would start saying the butcher coming in. And the reaction that I got from the people, they always wanted to hear it. So I know I'm like, I got to say this every time in the song. I mean,
it's funny how it's a small thing, but it's not. It's
really not.
It's like really impactful.
It's the makeup of, like, I remember, like, I told a story before. I remember coming out. I had a show in LA, 2018, and I had the apron on and the bloody apron. I had everything, and I was coming out to I forgot what the song was called, man. I think it was produced by Green Lantern, but y'all know if y'all watching this, y'all know the song. And I come out, and the song is crazy gritty. I got that on, and I'm like, the butcher coming. And it was like a girl in the front row, and she was like, I'm scared.
But you remember?
Yeah, she was really scared too.
So was Benny the Butcher, did it have any intention with you really leaning into that and it being sort of intentionally scary? Or was it just like, nah, I'm the butcher, I've knifed this shit up, blah, blah, blah?
Basically, it was just, I knifed this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I cut this shit up. You know what I'm saying? I'm the butcher. It's like this shit is deadly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I slaughter this shit, basically. But so when the fans got a hold of it, you know, they out of control.
Right.
You know, they take it to the next level. So after that, you know what I mean, a fan gave me the apron, gave me that idea, like, yo, where it is, a real butcher showed up at that concert that night with that and gave it to me.
As a gift, wow.
He gave it to me. He's like, yo, you should put this on. And I'm like, I'm definitely putting this shit on. And I'll put that shit on, for real. And I done sold aprons. Shout out to everybody who done bought the aprons, man. And the butcher coming. I done met so many butchers across the world.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. This part's the part I'm excited about. Yeah. You're telling me that because your name is Benny the Butcher, you have some sort of kinship to actual professional butchers. They're like, no, I'm a butcher.
Seriously.
Well, they must love it, because how often do people shout out the butcher?
And I thought about that. How many people shout out the butcher?
Right.
You know, I made a lane for the butchers. You know?
You really did.
I even had a couple rappers come to me and tell me that I took their name, that they was the butcher before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I believe that, actually. Yeah, there has been a butcher or two out here in the hip-hop and hip-hop adjacent world. Yeah, there have been butchers. Shout out to Frank the Butcher. There are some butchers who've been around
There's
here.
some butchers, man.
But you have the alliteration butcher, too. The Benny the Butcher. And then that alliteration is key.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's the same letter, the B on it, and the sideburns. You would think a butcher would have sideburns like this.
Well, yeah, because don't people call the sideburn, is that called mutton chops?
Mutton chops. Come on now.
Yo, this is deep, bro. I never even thought about it like that.
I be telling people, like, I really don't speak on this at all. But to come like a star or a superstar, it has to be more than your music. It got to be something else. You know what I'm saying? And the butcher, the name, the butcher, and the mutton chops and everything, it worked well for me.
I feel like one of my favorite things about this whole thing that's been going on with Griselda the last six, seven years that has gotten big. I know that you guys did, I believe, my birthday in Brooklyn in 2018.
Yeah.
So that means I'd already been playing the music at that point for probably a year, and you guys started popping on the end of the blog era kind of a couple years before that. So like 16, 17, but really 18, 19, and now the last four that you've been like household names.
Right, correct.
Where even if the mainstream cats don't know the records, they know the names. Right, you know what I mean? Right. One thing that's been interesting is that you guys have all had your moments of shining.
We have, right?
You've rotated around.
Right.
Gun was first. The name, the boom, 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 all of his stuff. was first.
Definitely.
And then I don't remember the order between you and Khan. Was it you? I feel like it was you next. Was it you next who people were like, because I feel like you and Khan have both been championed at different times as the one.
What I would say, what I say, it was me. I don't think it was me, but I could see how some people might say it was me.
It's just like you guys had different. Conway's the lyricist. Oh, Benny's the cool one. You got kind of meth vibes. Conway got kind of Ray Ghost vibes. You know, whatever it was. But you guys always seemed incredibly.
Everybody had the baton.
Yeah, at some point, and no one ever seemed. You know, I was joking with both of Khan and Ben Khan and Gun whenever I see them about your guys' your like problems that people for a long time. It hasn't come up recently, but it was one of my favorite things. Like every 6 months, the article would come out.
Yeah, like the Griselda.
The Griselda's breaking up thing.
Right.
And
I hated that era right there.
Really? It was annoying? Like, because you like had to, you have to answer these awkward questions.
I was the one doing interviews.
Oh, at the time?
You know like, they really wasn't doing interviews and shit like that. So I do the most interviews, so it's like, I mean, I had to answer that a lot.
But don't you, do you just feel awkward? Because you're like, well, it's my family, so I don't really like.
Yeah, and it's hard to like speak on like family shit. I'm saying it's okay to speak on it if you ask me, because everybody goes through it.
Right.
And that's what I want to remind people. Like, man, I'm saying I don't give a fuck what y'all heard. We about to go on tour.
Right. What are we doing?
I don't know what. I just left them. I don't know. You know what I mean?
It's funny. It actually, and it's another thing that reminds me of Wu. Because Wu regularly has problems. To this day, there's some problem right now between one and another, but none of it's ever real problems because it's all family.
Exactly.
So like they are always going to at some point form like Voltron, because at the end of the day, you know, and I just talked to RZA was on the show last week, you know, RZA's related to Jizza is related to, you know, Ghost is his brother-in-law, is like everyone's connected. And then on top of that, even beyond the actual familial connections, as time goes on, you know what I mean? There's this, you guys are so intertwined.
Exactly. And you know what I mean? Griselda is like, it ain't like it's family, you know what I'm saying? And people gotta truly, truly understand that. So this shit really ain't going nowhere.
Are you're the youngest. Are you like the youngest? Like,
yeah.
And it's always like that, and it feels like that.
Yep, that's a fact.
For better or for worse.
For both.
Yeah, and for both, I'm sure at different times.
Man, nothing says I'm a grown man now, but definitely, I'm the young one. I had to chase behind these dudes. That's how I even got this opportunity. I had to chase behind these dudes. I always talk about this shit. Is that like my opportunity wasn't handed to me? So when Wes really came and got me, I was really thankful, because we was at a period of time where he was in Atlanta, I was in Buffalo. It wasn't like we were seeing each other every day. I'm pretty sure he was around people who rapped and people who was around him when he created the idea for Griselda, because I wasn't sitting around him when he created the idea. He ain't called me like, yo, I'm going to call it Griselda. He already had everything packaged and ready to go by the time I got the phone call. He was already putting shit out. Like, you probably already, you know what I'm saying?
Right. It was already that far along.
Right. Because I got the official phone call after Fly God. I was on Fly God, but I still wasn't like, yo, come over here, Griselda 100%. I was just like doing the feature when I got on that.
Khan was already in though? Like him and Khan were already moving?
Yep.
And you were just hopeful like, I want to be.
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's like this though. Like me and Spesh was doing our thing at the time. Like I would say like around that time.
You and 38 Spesh were already.
That's what I was. I was Trust at that time.
Got it.
I'm saying full-fledged. Me and Spesh killing shit, dropping tapes and everything. But like, you know, Spesh kind of slowed down from doing what he's doing, you know, Spesh in and out the streets and shit. Everybody know his story. You know what I'm saying? And I was right there with him. But you know what I mean? Like I was a little bit more relentless. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, that's my bro, he'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love handing him the baton, because you know what I'm saying, at a point in time he handed me, because me and Spesh like that too. But man, these dudes like already had their shit already going on. To be honest with you, before I came around it. I'm happy Wes gave me the opportunity. That's why I always fought for it. That's why I always, like when you say we all had our shine, and that's why I was happy. The proudest moment about me getting my shine is like, okay, I'm doing what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So they really are like older cousins. Like that really is your.
Yeah. My brother, Machine Gun Black, that's my brother. Like he's in their age group.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Wait, so how old was Machine Gun? He was the same age?
Yep. Machine Gun to be, if he was born in 82, would he be like 41 or some shit?
So like the same age as Gun, basically.
Yep, exactly. And he was a little older. Like
So Sheen Gun, who we know is like, you know, God bless the dead, like heart and soul of Griselda. And everyone knows that obviously the album was named after him. He's a,
for sure.
you know, he's kind of like Ill Will, you know, like this thing that lives on in the music. But he was your older sibling who was really in the immediate clique, and you were the younger brother.
Right.
So that's just an interesting concept to think about it in those terms. It's really is, and even though you're all family, it was your older brother's group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was in it until like late years on. Like I showed promise, and they knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? By the time I was like 17, they knew who I was. So I was getting like invited around that time. I was getting invited to sessions, but like 15, 16, and like I was still like working my way up, like to prove myself to them. And that might sound like a young age, but we come from an environment like I'm from Montana, my block, Montana, right? Killer Browns. That was a group that performed at the Apollo before. You know how here they got the radio shows every year. We used to have it. It used to be called the Jamboree, and they used to perform every year. And they was from Montana. They was from my block.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So
and they made it pretty far for Buffalo rap.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? They was the big dogs for real. And they was right down the street from me. After when they wasn't performing or doing nothing, I was hanging out with them, going to school with them.
Were they cool with your brother too? Were they?
Of course. Like, and they was all older than me, so they was like more cooler with him than me too. You know what I'm saying?
Now, are these were cats like that? Obviously, I know it's a super small scene, so pardon my ignorance. But like, were they fucking with DJ Shay and recording over there too, or unrelated?
No, they weren't. This was a whole different side.
This was a whole different side.
A whole different side. You know what I'm saying? Like these are like some early legends, like Shay was, but they was on a different side.
On a different side of town.
Yep. And one of these guys is Conway's cousin.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was always a tight circle.
And so you were close to it and saw that people were at least able to make some headway.
Exactly.
How old were you when your brother was killed?
20. I was 21.
Did it take you out of working for a while, or were you the kind of guy who just poured into it and were like, I just don't want to do anything but rap now?
Yeah, well, that was the situation I had. I just did nothing but rap because when it happened, I was in prison. You know what I'm saying, and I had 90 days left when it happened. So when I came home, I really didn't want to be around. I really didn't know who did it. So I ain't want to be like in the streets. I didn't know. I was. People was coming up to me telling me sorry for it. And I didn't know if they had nothing to do with it or nothing because I was out the loop. So till I like learned what was going on, I really ain't stay around nobody. I like showed away, and I spent a lot of that time in the studio.
I mean, how does one process something that devastating? It's an unbelievable chore for anyone who is a member of that club that nobody wants to be a member of losing a sibling.
Right.
But also to do it while in jail. Like, how did you even handle day to day when you're just, take us through that, man. What did you do to get through the days knowing you had 90 days left, and also knowing now this date that you've been looking forward to, it just lost so much of its luster. Not that you're not going to be happy to be out, but now you're going to be out and your brother's gone.
Man, it's definitely, man, that shit take a toll on you. You know, that shit real. And losing a sibling, you know what I'm saying? Like even though we was like years apart, like we was like twins. That was my brother. You understand? We came up together. We did everything together. So it's like I definitely felt like I lost a part of me. And I had nightmares about it for at least a year straight. You know what I'm saying?
About it happening?
About it happening to me, about anything related to my brother passing away for a year straight. I had nightmares about it. And you know what I mean? Like you really just gotta get through it. I really can't even give no advice on it because, you know what I'm saying? Like I see people lose people and be fucked up for life after it. And I understand it, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be strong to get past that. Cause that's my older brother. That was my protector. You know what I'm saying? So
how many other siblings do you have?
Altogether, my mom had 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? I got sisters on my pop's side. I got like 4 sisters on my father's side.
But you and Sheen Gun grew up in the same house.
Yep. Definitely, man. Since day one, that case that I was in prison for, we was co-defendants on that case.
Wow.
Yep.
And how long did he do?
He did. I think bro did like 5 years. He did his time. And then by the time he came out, we was out a little bit while together, and then I went back on a violation.
Got it.
And then he passed away when I was going on a violation.
Well, that must have been another thing that's hard to deal with too, is feeling like, why am I even back here? Over, that must have been frustrating also.
Man, this shit is rough, man. I question myself, like, why we do the dumb shit that we do in the streets, man. It caused so much heartache and it caused so much pain, but it builds us to who we are. But I feel like, that's just a long way to greatness, because a lot of people from the streets reach greatness, but that's just a long way. That's just the scenic route, the terrible scenic route, not riding through the suburbs, like the riding through the
not the pleasant scenic route,
exactly.
like chilling.
So like, damn, you know what I mean? These great minds that we have early is like, we need to be doing bigger and better things, and that's one thing about now. I feel like there's more opportunities for people to use their brains, man. I love the streamers, man. I love that. I love everything that these young guys do, and I love drill music. You know what I'm saying? I know people try to say it's this and it's that, but man, they get money, man. And, that money goes a long way in the ghetto.
Like whatever opportunities that you are able to get to make money in a way where you're not doing street shit. In other words,
because we already know that what these guys could be doing.
Right.
Ain't like they gave up. It ain't like these guys gave up Ivy League schools to do drill music. You know what I'm saying? We know what they gave up.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I mean?
That's such a great point. And for every rapper we hear who tells the story of how they used to do things in the street, there are so many more people out there who don't ever get to tell their story because they're locked up or dead or nothing good happened ever.
For real. And a lot of these guys got saved in the nick of time before they went through that shit. And a lot of these guys became rappers after they done the shit. And a lot of these guys, as we can see, still be doing the shit and get caught up during. You feel what I'm saying? So, thank God that, we got this lane.
Do you ever have any trepidation or do you ever struggle at all with the line of, am I glorifying this in talking about the stuff that's going on in the street? Do you ever feel like it's a blurry line between I'm telling what my story was and I'm saying something that could make someone out there think? Now, listen, you guys are a little bit complicated because, to be honest, you make adult rap. Most of the people who listen to you guys are, I believe, listening for full-on entertainment purposes, like watching a movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think little kids are being like, if Benny used to do that, then that's what I'm going to do. But still, it remains.
You can influence grown people too.
What is exactly? You absolutely can, and certainly you can influence a 23-year-old grown person or a 26-year-old grown person who's still finding it. So yeah, do you ever struggle with that dynamic?
I don't. I don't feel like I glorify it at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost my ratio for saying lines that people say I glorify it is pretty close to me telling people like the other side of this life. I'm always gonna give the other side of this life, and man, and the most important thing, telling the truth can never be considered glorification. If you're making these stories up, if you're just going extra and extra, you know what I'm saying? That to me that kind of is. But if you speaking your truth, you're not glorifying that. You're just speaking your truth. Like in the song, the Big Dog song, I'm a long way from that brick of fentanyl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my real reality. I got homeboys who doing time and homeboys who call Kate. You know what I mean? That was our thing. Hustling was our thing. So I'm a long way from that hustling life. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying yo, you know what I mean? People gotta, there's trigger words. People gotta get over them words, man.
So how long has fentanyl been a thing?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to say it hit Buffalo. It hit Buffalo maybe 2014, 2013.
It's 10 years.
2014, yep. 10 years.
I find it so crazy that with all the amount that we hear about the death of people from a little bit of fentanyl, I'm always blown away when you hear that there are people choosing to just do fentanyl.
Right, that's crazy.
And they'll be like, it's 1,000,000 times harder than heroin. And I'm like, that's too high. What the fuck are people thinking?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, man, I feel for everybody who like went through a death from that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that's a man-made drug. You know what I'm saying? I know people consider a lot of these shits to be man-made, but you know, that shit comes straight out of a lab, and you know what I'm saying, nobody know what goes in there. And then they got the mixing it and everything else. You know, people got to be careful with that shit. And it's like, well, you know, they putting that shit in every motherfucking thing. I don't know where the fuck that shit came, but I definitely know it hit America hard on both sides. You know what I'm saying? It was more of like a white community, the people who was dying off of it, you know what I'm saying, and using it. But it was the black community, you know what I'm saying, people getting locked up and suffering and on that aspect. So it was like, you know,
and now it seems to just get cut into everything. So it seems like it affects such a wide range of people.
Right, that shit hit America hard.
Yeah, bro. I mean, literally just in music, just in hip hop, when you think about it, like just in pop culture, the amount of people that we've lost is tremendous. You mentioned the Big Dog record, which is the new single.
Yes, sir.
Benny featuring Lil Wayne, but the real, listen, the Benny Lil Wayne is not like a shocking thing. You know, the really dope piece that I appreciated, I'm sure many people are appreciating, is that you got Lil Wayne and Alchemist on a record together.
Exactly. Let's
talk
about it.
That's another Benny gem.
Thank me later.
When did that?
Thank me now.
when did you? What was the order of that record coming together? You had a record. You were already on the record, and then said, "Let me try to get Wayne on this." What was the?
Exactly. I already had the record. Me and Al worked on the record. We even sat with the record for a few weeks, and then I thought of the idea. You know, it was at that point of the album where I was like calling and getting features and shit like that, because I kind of like do that at the end. You know what I'm saying? If I don't get the idea of who I want on it. And I thought, man, that would be perfect. That would be perfect, because anytime I asked for a verse, he always sent it. He always sent the body bag.
How many Wayne features you had?
That's probably my second one.
It's
but I know I got like 2 with him.
And you're on 2 other joints.
Yep.
And did Al like perk up at the idea? Because am I wrong? I don't think they have another record together.
I don't think they. You know, I was thinking about that. I think I said that in an interview a couple of days ago, and I'm not even sure. But I'm willing to say they don't. Because you know what I would have remembered? I would have remembered saying me and him got one.
Yeah, I feel like they don't.
No, they don't. They don't. So you know what I mean?
Well, let's play a game called Call Alchemist and see if he answers. By the way, this is a game in and of its own right.
Is it over?
Yeah, just seeing if he answers the phone, regardless of whether we get an answer or not. Just him answering the phone is a game.
What time is it? You know, Al's early bird.
Let's see. I mean, he can't be this early. It's 4:00. Let's see. He's gonna think I'm asking him for something, which he's right. A shirt, a record, a beat, an interview. Oh wait, is he there?
No, that's his famous voice.
Damn it, Al.
I was gonna say Al don't never answer the phone.
So wait, this is a really an opportunity for me to feel better about myself. So even for Benny, it is a pain to get Al on the phone.
Oh, for sure.
God, that makes me feel good. Thank you.
Oh, for sure.
Like, Al's one of the few people in my life that, like, I know for a fact we have a good relationship. I know for a fact Al likes me. Well, you don't ever know for a fact, right? I feel very confident about the fact that Al likes me and I like him. We have a mutual respect. Yo, bro, I will literally be like, yo, I'm going to be in LA next week, blah, blah. We'll chat about it. I get to LA, I hit him up. No answer. I'm like, bro, I'm here. I'm in LA. I mean, I'm not outside your house, but LA's far.
LA's far.
I'm already out here. What's good?
Here. Like, you better off like popping up at the crib and knowing Al there. He's more like a come through guy.
Yeah, he is a
like,
come through guy.
Like, you know where I'm at. Like, pull up. You know
right. He is and I've done that, but it's been a very long time. Is there more Al on the album?
Oh yeah, of course. Whole thing is Al and Hit Boy. You know
the whole thing is Al and Hit Boy.
Whole thing is Al and Hit Boy.
Wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, I gotta keep my guys, man. Keep my guys.
Hit Boy's been it's been a good run for the old Hit Boy.
Yeah, man. Every year he going crazy. Every year he going crazy, winning awards. I mean, same thing with Al.
Al really ages like fine wine.
Every year he's stepping on shit. Man, I seen something online, and it was saying like, how many songs has Al produced? It was from 1 to 10, the number of songs he has with the artist, and I was number 10. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Of course, Mob and everybody at the top, and West Side Gun and them in the middle,
Bronson's in there.
Bronson in there, definitely.
Did they have Prodigy solo? Also, was it Prodigy and Mob, or just?
I think it was. I can't remember that shit, man.
But just to be on there,
I was on there. I was number 10.
That's pretty fucking cool.
And those are songs that's out. So by the time I'm like 2 behind a couple people. So by the time that shit come out, I'm gonna go up higher on the list.
Al is he's special, man. He really has only gotten better. I mean, listen, Hit Boy keeps getting better.
Yeah. Students of the game, man. Students of the game who know how to change the sound up when it's needed. You know what I mean? And it's geniuses, man. It's a pleasure to work with both of them.
So this album comes out early top of the year. That's what you said? Early January?
Yeah, slapping them in the head.
And how many tracks are we talking about?
Damn. But I don't know the number, but this is the most songs I ever put on an album.
Really?
Yep. Most.
Do you know if you exceeded 15?
The most.
Interesting. It's hard going past 15 these days. Listen, we're now accustomed to a world where like albums are like 10. You know what I mean? And then so I got to tell you, one of my favorite things in rap has been that the tracks numbers have gone down. Because I was always a person when people did like the 23s and the 26.
Those days are back though.
I know. I mean, they're creeping up. And then sometimes people like have 26, but there's mad interludes on it.
Nobody do that though, right?
Oh, for streams?
Yep.
Just to stack up and have people stay in their algorithm and keep going and going and going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So they load this album up with songs. So if you stream an 11-song album one time and you stream a 22-song album one time, the 22-song album still got double the stream.
It was more valuable. It was a better play for you. And now you have more songs out there in the ether.
Yep.
In general. Speaking of songs that were done, what's the latest 2023 conversation on the You and Drake song that's been bantied about for half a decade?
It's been that long.
It really has, right?
I promise you, it's been that long.
5 years? I think no, 4 years maybe. Yeah,
4 years. It's been that long.
It just it sits somewhere.
I mean, it's like somewhere in a treasure chest, man. People could find it. They could listen to it. I think everybody heard it at this point.
Yeah, it popped up on YouTube at some point, right?
Everybody.
Who was the original person you think that had that? What engineer do you think is the person who said, you know what, let's just slide this out to the streets?
And I have no idea.
How excited were you though? Did you record that together, or he sent you a record?
Oh, he sent a record.
So like when you record, was his verse already on it?
Yep, for sure.
That's still got to be a pretty exciting feeling though.
Hell yeah.
I mean, getting that email when you see like a Graham pop up in the inbox is exciting.
Yeah. This is the rap business. I'm saying, and him sending the record to me is rap. The other part was the business. I'm saying, but the shit still was done.
Right. The rap still happened.
The shit still was done.
Is there a dream collab out there still sitting for you? Because you've done a ton.
Man, as a rapper, man, who don't want to get that whole record in.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm saying, who don't want? I want that classic. I also want that classic rapper R&B song. And I'm saying there's a whole bunch of R&B artists I would love to work with. Man,
would that be like Chris Brown, who's like the top of
Gucci Man too?
Oh, Gucci would be hard.
WAP.
Yeah.
Do some shit with WAP.
So with go out, that would be super hard. Was Gucci big in Buffalo growing up?
Hell yeah. Gucci was the man.
I feel like he's really a generational artist. I mean, it's after my era of influence. I was already on the radio when Gucci blew up. You know what was big up here? Lemonade.
Oh, that went crazy everywhere.
Lemonade was big in New York.
That was like Gucci's coming out thing.
It really was. That was the big national.
Yeah, even though he had like crazy songs, go crazy in the hood, that was like his first one that went crazy on the radio.
Yeah,
everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've never really spent a ton of time in the Gucci catalog like that. I know. It's really white nerd rap of me. I know.
Right. You're missing some stuff.
Am I?
I'm not gonna. You will enjoy it.
What's the one to listen to if I like? I know how great his personality is.
I would say, Young Rich with a mouth full of gold. Play that song. I don't know what album it's on, but if you want to start with a song, and that's what it called, Rick. Young Rich with a mouth full of gold. The beat hard. That's 2000. That's early.
What's it actually called though? Oh, it's called Mouthful of Gold?
Mouthful of Gold.
I was searching Young Rich. It didn't come up.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, here it is. Featuring Birdman.
Yeah, you see? You're on timing. Ooh.
pardon me, but I'm passing gas to my entourage. No gas mask, I'm in my old school with the Georgia tag, with my Georgia ass and my red flag. I'm G'd up from the feet up in my black van with my feet up and the blinds down and the beat up. Short bad bitch with the seat up. You know me from the old me on Jump Street with the scrape D. I was low key, ex-HB, now I'm 3D. Come face me. I went toe to toe with the best of them. I'll buzz shots at the rest of them. Don't test me, no tester. I'll you like Chester. I'm a rich ass, you a bitch ass, you a cornball boss, so snitch ass. Went to the game, fell self to the fame, run up on me in a ditch quick. I'ma tell you twice, cause I'm Goose 2 times. Fuck your click and fuck your right.
Yeah, I sort of get it. I'm not going to sit here and say I all the way get it. I sort of get it. I mean, I have my random, like, South drug dealer music I'm into. Mm-hmm. It was probably like generation before that though. It was probably more T.I. and Jeezy in the years before that.
That trap music T.I. is legendary.
I was always a big T.I. King guy myself.
Yeah, that was fire too.
I always thought King was sort of the his masterpiece at the time.
The Recession, Jeezy, the Recession. Yeah. I know everybody Trap or Die and all that, but the Recession, that's probably one of the greatest albums up there. That's like in my top 5.
Okay, time for a hard question.
Come on.
I don't want to turn this into a whole thing.
Ask the question. Come on, baby.
Why the Trump 2024 tweet? Tell me someone broke into your account that day.
This is what I'm going to say about that, man.
Yo, Rick just made a face. I thought you knew where I was going to go.
This is what I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Celebrities aren't supposed to share their public opinion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that lesson that day.
It was
their political opinion, I mean.
Right. But you had that opinion. You felt it in that moment. Do you still feel that? Do you still feel that way at this moment?
Celebrities are not supposed to share their political opinion.
So in other words, you weren't happy with the results of giving that opinion, as you would say.
No, I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to say just that celebrities are not supposed to share their public opinion because they're just not supposed to. I think that's touchy and people don't understand it.
So let's without having a political argument, why do you feel like doing it on that given day, saying that? Was there a particular thing that happened?
It was really to prove a point.
See how people would react to some extent. Because me and Ebro had a theory the next day, right on the radio. I mean, we don't waste any time.
Go ahead. Tell me. Give me this.
I mean, listen. I said I know Benny. I know those guys. I know who they. I know they have people in different walks of life. Someone needs a pardon. That was the first thing that came to our mind. I was like, someone needs a pardon, and this is personal business. But
honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I even will vote. You know what I'm saying? Like,
tell me this though. What was most interesting about the reaction that you got from people? Was there one thing that was particularly interesting in observing how people responded to you?
Honestly, everybody, in my opinion, because you know how people say what they want to say and call themselves trolling me. It was people in my DM let me know they did vote for him. So I'm like, everybody really voted for this dude. They just say tweet the shit.
So you heard from a lot of people who said, hey, I love this guy. He's a great guy.
People you wouldn't think of, though. That's
really?
The point of it. People you wouldn't think of who kind of was relief. Like, let me tell him this. I got to tell somebody I did this shit. Oh my God. Like, I got to tell somebody.
Meanwhile, you're getting it and you're like, Rick, you're not going to believe who the fuck just DM'd me and told me.
For real, so.
Well, don't worry. That is the DM you did not get from me.
No, it wasn't this guy right here. He ain't do that.
I did not do that.
Peter ain't on
that. But here's the thing. Like, even though it's widely known, my opinions on Donald Trump are widely known. Not a fan. You and I have a level of relationship where I'm not going to talk crazy. I might make a joke like, if someone I like says it, I'm going to go, what the fuck are they talking about?
Right.
Or I'll speculate. It must be blank or it must be blank. But I'm not going to be obviously an asshole about it because I like you. And obviously there's no purpose in being judgmental on people's opinions when you don't know them anyway. Right. But I'm apt to give the benefit of the doubt that people that I like who make good music, who are smart people, that maybe there's something else to the conversation that, I'm missing. But it was funny because I saw you the night before. I literally saw you. I saw you.
Wasn't that? I'm trying to tell you, it really wasn't that serious. I just did it to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? And what I learned from that is celebrities are not supposed to share their political opinions publicly.
Yeah, and by the way, you've been around a bunch of interesting things because you guys were around Kanye during the midst of Kanye. Not the crazy, you weren't around the craziest time of Kanye. You actually kind of lucked out in that regard, actually. Because y'all's Kanye run, don't get me wrong, he and I'm not going to put you in a spot where you're speaking on Kanye because I understand the dynamic. But like, there are levels to Kanye's shit. And when you guys were around for the Donda thing, it was in one place. And then it went to a whole other place. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing, like, we all got homeboys like Kanye that we deal with every day.
Who say wild out shit.
Hell yeah. Who be like, this motherfucker is crazy.
Right, and you still have love for them. But you compartmentalize certain things that they say.
Yeah, because I don't think Ye get offended when people call him crazy. I'm saying, I
hope not.
I know I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. This is the thing about it is, he say what the fuck he want to say when he want to say it. You know what I'm saying? Come on. We do shit, but it's like, am I really saying my deepest, darkest thoughts with this microphone in front of this camera?
Right.
I'm not.
No.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
But you know why? Because but I would say though, that's because like you're crazy to a point.
Exactly.
You're crazy with the bars. You know what I mean?
I get it.
But like listen, bro, I talk on a live mic 8 hours a day on 2 different shows. On the morning show, I have the Hot 97 audience. A certain segment of them do not like me. That will always exist because of the tone of my voice. Right. Even if I'm saying shit they agree with. They hear me say it and they're like, I don't like it. And then Ebro might say the same thing. They're like, that makes sense.
For sure.
Then I go on my afternoon show, which is Sports Talk on ESPN in New York. And the exact opposite crowd hates me. Because they're like this snowflake, hip hop loving, Black Lives Matter. So I have 2 completely divergent audiences that don't fuck with me. And it's not like they're fans of mine. They just stumble into me. On a given day, knock on wood, I say the wrong thing on the wrong day. These are cats who are actually waiting on me. Yeah. And so my point being, I say things that have emotion and feeling, but yeah, we all know how to say, hey, this doesn't make sense to say.
We gotta be careful because people sitting back and they can't wait to take this shit out of context.
Every time.
They can't wait. They watching, they looking, and you would do a hour-and-a-half interview and and it'd be like a 30-second clip.
Right. I'm gonna cut up a clip right now of you talking shit about Gunn and Conway. I can't wait to drop it. It's gonna be crazy. Benny says he's finally had enough. I'm tired of being the little brother, says Benny the Butcher.
You ain't gonna find that, man. I make sure when I get in front of this microphone and everywhere, I big those guys up because
if you don't, some asshole's gonna be, I think they're really breaking up this time. This is it.
That's like third on the list, but man, when I try to tell you, man, like we work this shit from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And Buzz came and got me and rescued me from the hood. Like I said, man, I was down bad. You know what I'm saying? And, they threw me in a position and helped me work through it. And always been a real nigga through it. And I mean, shout out to both of those dudes.
Do you talk to them about the same amount? Like, do you guys have like a rotating cousin relationship where sometimes you and Con are closer, sometimes Con and Gunn are closer? Is it just sort of depend on the time and place?
Like anything else, yeah. And like same thing with them. I mean, like you might see I might be in Buffalo, so I might be around Con more. You see, they was just on tour together. You know what I'm saying? Dropping songs together. I'm like, I ain't like that shit.
What kind of bullshit is this?
Nah, I'm just fucking around. But what I like for them, I like seeing them together because
it makes you happy.
You know why? Because that's what this shit was made off of. I was inspired so much by West Side Gun's press run.
This last time?
Yeah, because man, ever since you know him, he been championing and bringing up artists.
Yeah.
Ever since you know him,
ranging from you guys to people who are
Armani, Stove,
and then even outside
Rome, even outside
Griselda, just other dope artists who he puts on his features and looks out for.
Exactly. So to see him doing the shit for himself and just focusing on himself, that re-energized me. It made me feel good because that's where that started from. That's where everything started from. Him being in a comfortable space where he putting out music and he, I'm saying, letting his character and his personality show through the art. that's where this all started from. So
Yeah, man. Listen, Gun is who I'm closest with from the crew. I love that.
Them wrestling niggas.
Yeah, we got the wrestling shit. That's my guy, bro. I love that dude. He sat in this exact same seat a month ago, and Cipha and I spent 40 minutes asking him about his shopping habits and trying to understand. Yo, did you know that Gun throws out his t-shirt and his socks every day?
Oh yeah, he told me that.
He never repeats. This guy, you want to talk about what Rich looks like? It's a small thing. It's a small thing.
He throw out his socks.
But no, he socks and t-shirt and old t-shirts, not like nice t-shirts, but regular undershirt. They get one wear. Now underwear is different, which I thought was a really important explanation. Because good underwear is good underwear. You gotta wash your drawers and have a nice pair of underwear. Okay,
this how that thing go, right? I'm not gonna say I wear just new socks every day, but you know what I'm saying, my wife just know to order wild shit. Everybody know wherever I go, it's socks and drawers and t-shirts that's gonna follow, because you don't travel with those. You know what I'm saying,
you don't travel with them.
You don't travel with them. You get them when you get there. Now that Instacart is out, or you traveling. I'm traveling with brand new packs of them. You know what I'm saying,
underwear and socks.
Yep.
What about undershirts?
No, yeah, and those
and undershirts.
Yep. Get crate anytime you get a chance to buy them, you buy them. That's where that habit come from, because we travel so much,
right?
And we don't want to bring dirty shit home. So you travel so much, you putting on new shit, you get addicted to it and want to do it every day
because it feels fucking great.
But he told me he'd do that.
Bro, I literally, or you could be like me, 44 years old, still going through your drawer, being like, "Why do I still have these? These need to be retired."
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
You know what? I used to buy the Versace and the polo underwear and shit like that. Now I'm just straight Hanes because
you're getting rid of it. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Fuck all that $100 underwear.
I mean, that's. By the way, does Gun ever buy shit that you're like, yo, bro, you're out of your mind with the clothing?
No.
Is it too rich for your? Is it too rich for your pockets?
Fuck yeah, he got a Dolce & Gabbana stove.
Wait, what?
He got a Dolce & Gabbana stove.
There's a Dolce & Gabbana stove?
That's what I said when I seen it. And he's so rich that, like,
well, if he doesn't gift that to Stove God Cooks, I think he's a bad guy. Look, that's got to be like a 40th birthday present for Stove God Cooks.
This dude got a Dolce & Gabbana stove and don't cook on it. Now, if I bought the bitch, I cook on it. I'm saying, like, if I
you're not a collector, you're using it.
I'm using it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Dolce & Gabbana stove.
Dolce & Gabbana stove.
What do you have any? I mean, obviously you enjoy jewelry and a nice outfit, but do you have any particular thing that you like to spend your money on, or is that just not your? What's your?
India. My wife.
Really? Wow, that's actually very sweet and romantic. That you don't expect this every day. Is that true?
No, like that's the first thing I thought of when you said
that's what I spend money on.
Anything I want to spend money on. My wife.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's
what's her like? If you go out of town, if you're going to play some gigs on the West Coast, what's the kind of thing you bring back for her?
I really, to be honest with you, and I got to get better at this. Probably nothing, because like we do this shit every day. We shopping and we getting shit and we buying shit for the house, and we just living this life every motherfucking day. And that's what I told her, man. Her birthday just passed. I just let her like keep a check.
Happy birthday. Hold this one. This is yours.
Like pay the bills and keep the rest.
And do whatever you want with that. You know what? It's a pretty good situation. How long y'all been together?
10 years.
Wow. The whole run, basically.
The whole run. We just got married a couple months ago, but we've been together for 10 years.
Wow, that's dope, man. She's been along for the whole ride.
Yes, sir, man, and she hold it down for me.
Hey, well, listen, there's an upside to being the wife of a member of Griselda. They ain't gonna be any bitches to the show anyway.
We scare all the hoes. We scare the hoes, man.
No. By the way, that's an incorrect assumption. I like to make the joke, but the truth is, you still get your share of little underground hip hop chicks who like to come out and support a good show.
Yeah, and lately it's been more and more, man. More. Our last tour, it was ladies at our last tour. It was ladies at our last tour on everything.
Rick, are you single, Rick? He's TBD.
Oh my goodness. That means no.
Yeah, that feels like a big no. He's like, who's gonna see this interview?
Right.
So the album is coming out in January. The name of the album?
Everybody Can't Go. You understand? And, this is the Griselda train. You know what I'm saying? Benny the Butcher. I got the whole Griselda on there, and you know we doing what we doing, and we riding out. And like I said, I ain't drop an album in like 20 months, but
20 months.
20 months.
And in Griselda years, that's like a fucking lifetime.
You feel me?
That's like going 40 years without an album in Griselda terms.
And I feel like we drop so much that a lot of times, because I do this other times, that people can't tell, but they can tell now.
But it's actually taking time.
They can tell now.
No, and I appreciate it too. Like, even though it's so dope when artists come with music over and over again, for your media friends, sometimes it actually becomes a pain in the ass because y'all come around so often.
Right.
It'll be like they're back again. I'm like, yo, we just had them on 7 months ago.
That's a fact.
Give me a moment to heat this thing up. But now is the time. The heat up is here, and between the three of y'all, it feels like someone's usually dropping.
Yep.
I don't know, once every 6 months, something like that.
Yeah, I would say that, man. I mean, Everybody Can't Go is the most anticipated album, you know what I'm saying, of the year.
Hit Boy and Alchemist.
Right.
Yo, bro, if you're not checking for that, I don't know what you're checking for, and I'm sure the features will be bonkers. Thank you for making time, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. You know that.
They're right back at you, brother, for a very, very long time. His name is Benny the Butcher. Give it to him one more time.
Let's go. The Butcher coming. You know that.